Hi there, Karen here. This is the first layout I created during National Scrapbooking Weekend, which here in the UK kicked off on the Friday evening and went right through till Sunday. And challenges were set throughout the weekend by the Facebook group for the love of pretty paper, and they did a really good job of challenging us to do all sorts of layouts. This first one was just to create a spring or summer layout. So I chose to do a spring layout, as the photograph is of myself and my husband on a weekend away in Norfolk at the beginning of April. So spring was the obvious choice for us for this layout. And I'm using my April hit kit. I've created a few layouts with this, and I've picked a background already, which is Pinkfresh Studios Livermore collection. It's the one with the little crosses on. And then I'm just picking out a couple of backing papers to coordinate with the photograph. So I've got that teal and white stripe, or it's like a jadey green, I suppose, which goes quite well with the photograph. And then the pink paper is from Chasing Dreams by Maggie Holmes. And now I'm just cutting out one of the cut aparts from the Oasis collection, the Weekend Getaway, which is fairly apt, as this is what we were away for the weekend. And I'm just looking through all the papers, trying to put together some layers that make it work for me. So I'm just trimming the backing paper. That one's the one I chose very quickly. That's perfect for the background. And I'm just trimming my papers down now. I'm just layering them up in the fashion I think I've done before. It's turning into a bit of a go-to layout for me, laying the papers in a vertical way. I must try and break out of that comfort zone and do something different for my next layout. I think I've got a couple more in the pipeline that I think will look very different. And so I've just put a doily on the back there, trying to decide what to use for backing paper, and I've decided that green was just a bit too bright, so I'm going to put a bit of white tissue in between first of all, just layering up, sticking those two together, a couple of sheets of tissue, and then I'll back that behind the photograph. And sticking that on, and then and it will just need trimming down a bit. So I'm just doing that. It was nice to start with a layout that was fairly straightforward, nothing that required too much effort, like as the challenges got more and more challenging as the weekend wore on. But it was nice to have a gentle start to the weekend with doing a spring layout, which was really fun. I'm quite a slow scrapper, so I didn't create many layouts over the weekend, as I couldn't join in on the Saturday anyway. So all in all, I think I'll have managed 4 layouts for the whole of the weekend. But I have filmed them, so they will be on my YouTube channel over the next couple of weeks. So I've back my photograph, and I'm going to just put it on a doily. Now I thought I had a look at the yellow, but it's just a bit too layery, that paper. I've got to find a use for it, but I couldn't quite bring myself to use it for this layout. It just seemed much too bold. So I've gone for the slightly easier option of the navy and white, because that went really well with the colours in the photograph. So I'm just trimming that down. There we go. And is it doily first or funky foam first? Can't remember. Doily first. There we go. Doily's on. And then there'll be some foam to add, I believe. I'm just lining it up just to see how it all looks. Oh, and then I'm going to do a bit of outlining. I don't outline on all my layouts, but I do quite a few, just to make the layers stand out from the backing paper. And I'm just using a grey zig pen rather than a black. I use black quite often, but on this occasion I thought I wanted to keep it fairly soft in the colours, so I went for grey rather than black. And here goes the foam. Just going to add that to the layer. And there we are. Don't think I've stuck everything down yet, but it'll probably be stuck down very soon. Just laying things on, just getting an idea of my placement of where I want everything. And then I've got a couple of those rosettes that I've cut out. The one with the pink rosette has got a rose in the middle, and the other one's got a swan. Because it's hard to see, but in the background there is a river, so it seems appropriate to have water birds appearing on the layout. There will be more birds appearing a bit later on. In the meantime, I'm just going to stick down the layers and stick down my photograph. Okay, so now the embellishments. I've just sticking down these two rosettes because the colours went really well with everything else, and then I picked out the cactus, which doesn't really go, but I like the colour and it's got some gold in it, and it just picked up the gold at the other end, which is where the camera is. The camera will get stuck down a bit later on, and then I thought I'd just add the washi tape that came in the hip kit. As soon as I put it down, I thought it's too dark, and I tried to peel it off again, but it started to bring the paper with it. So I thought now I need to tone it down a bit. So I started getting out more washi tape to see if I could try and tone down the black and white. But I tried a few different ones, as you can see. Against then they're just too wide, or colour's not right, and then I found this one, which I've had for quite a long while, which is gold on white, XOXOXO, all the way along. And because it's old, of course, it's lost all its sticky. So then I had to find a way to stick it down. So I got my little tape runner, and I've had to run it all along the washi tape. It's the first time I've had washi tape that wouldn't actually stick down at all. So I stuck a bit of glue on it, and then it stuck down, and that just seemed to do the job. Just took down the darkness of the other washi a bit, and I quite like that. I like the two together. And now I'm committing to the camera. So I've got a diagonal pattern going on, as I often seem to do, and so I've got the gold and pink camera, so it was appropriate to have a bit of gold from that cactus, and the green matches the other green, so yeah, it works as far as I'm concerned. That it's earned its place on the page by being the right colours. And now I'm just going through some of the embellishments that came with the kit. This is the leatherette stickers from Pink Fresh Studio. I picked one out that just says Explore, and again the colours are what I was looking for, and that little tab, whatever it is, with a number 2 on it, and there's 2 of us, so that works. And then from the Pink Fresh layered chipboard thickers, I picked out this one, which is a bird. It just says Take Flight. I just liked it. The colours worked, and I quite liked it then. I've picked out a few hearts, chipboard hearts, also from the same sheet. So just enhancing the diagonal theme going right down the page. And I'm just looking for any more on the chipboard thickers from the Paige Evans collection, and I picked that one out, which says The Good Life, which is pretty self-explanatory. And now I'm looking at some flowers that were on that chipboard, on that thicker sheet, but I tried them around the page and somehow they just don't work. Bit too small, and I didn't really want to veer away from the diagonal that I was on. I didn't want to start another cluster that somehow didn't go with the rest. So I left the flowers where they were, and I've stuck down The Good Life, and that works well for me. And now I'm just working on my title. I'm using the exclusive chipboard letters, alphas, that came with the kit. They're exclusive to the hip kit, and I found for the second time that I need a P, and there were no P's on this chipboard. I don't know why there's no P's, but there are no P's on this alpha sheet. so I had to use a bee and cut it down. I can't explain why there was no P's. It's the sort of letter that we do use. I'd understand if there was no Q's, but there were Q's. Anyway, and then I wanted to, actually looking at it again, I don't think there are any Q's actually on this sheet. Nope, there are no Q's either. And these navy blue, they're the little navy blue foam alphas, and they're quite nice and small and neat. But I'd run out of O's, so again I've had to do a bit of surgery, and I've made my O's from a couple of 6s to make the word Norfolk. And weekend comes from it's the gold puffy words that were from the Oasis collection. So I've got my title, Spring Weekend in Norfolk. Haven't stuck it on yet, but I'm just laying it out, seeing it, making sure it fits. And then I found in my I just bought these little stamps, and there were ducks, and one with a sheep and one with rabbit on. So I thought, oh, I'm going to stamp some ducks on this because we're near water and ducks are appropriate, and they're so cute, and I wanted to use them because they're new, and I thought they worked rather well down there. Well, you can't see them terribly well, but they're just in a little row at the bottom of the striped layer, so you'll be able to have a closer look up of those when we get there. So just sticking on my letters. It all worked out quite well. So although I could have used Weekend Getaway as my title, the requirement was that spring should be in the title to show whether it's a spring or a summer layout. So I thought I'd better do a title that adheres to the challenge. So there you can just see now my little ducks marching across the page. I think they're so cute. I'm going to have to do more layouts with these little stamps. And I'm doing a few gold splatters with the Heidi Swap Colour Shine, or Heidi Shine as it's better known, because I've already got quite a bit of gold on there. The spring and the weekend have both got gold in, so the gold splatters seem to just finish the page. And there's just a few little tiny word phrases. Life Captured is the one I've just put under the journaling there. And then I've put down, I think it says, more of this please, and places we go. So that's kind of, that's it. That's finished the layout. So that was my first challenge. Join me for the next challenges when I get them up. Thanks for joining me. Goodbye.